Hey everyone, Blaze here, welcome to a special anime unboxing video. As of this video's airing, which I believe should be the 4th of October 2020, Neon Genesis Evangelion has just turned 25 years old. That's when the first episode of the original series, TV series, aired in Japan on the 4th of October 1995. So yeah, we're a whole 25 years later. That's how old this series is, crazily enough, and yet it seems to still be crazily as popular as ever. I was never the biggest fan of Evangelion, but I totally appreciate its long-lasting legacy and its incredibly influential impact it had on the anime industry and just what you could do with this storytelling medium, especially in the world of giant robots and mecha. It completely revolutionized the entire genre, an effect that is still pretty much reverberating to this day. So yeah, we're going to celebrate this classic series by doing an unboxing of the original Platinum DVD art box set from ADV. We're going to take a look at the limited edition holiday special set, which is basically just this in more compact packaging, so a quick look at that just because I have it. And then we're going to take a look at the two Manga Entertainment DVDs of Death+Rebirth, the compilation films, and then the end of Evangelion DVD film. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay then, so we're going to be taking a look at the Platinum edition art box set first. This is a really beautiful looking set, and I am very fortunate to own it in incredibly good condition. I used to own this set before, so if you remember my last pickups video, my ADV Films haul video, I mentioned there was an art box set that I totally forgot about to show in that video. This is it. Fortunately, I then discovered that hey, there's an anniversary coming up, so I'll save it until then, and we'll do a proper unboxing of it. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to own this set. Like I said, I used to own this before. It was in pretty rough shape because I basically cobbled it together. I managed to find the art box and volume 1, and then I very slowly ended up picking up the rest of the volumes. Each volume comes in a slipcover, and they're very shiny, and if these get any sort of shelf wear or dog earring and all that sort of stuff, they become kind of, it loses the effect because everything is so reflective and shiny and stuff. So yeah, and as I mentioned before in that ADV Films video, I had the opportunity last year to pick up a bunch of art boxes from this collector here in the UK that was selling them off, and he was selling this at a crazy price. It was £30, guys. It's crazy mint condition, this thing. It looks like it's barely been touched since it was purchased, and it's been housed or stored somewhere very safe. So yeah, very fortunate. But yeah, so Evangelion Platinum Edition, Neon Genesis Evangelion Platinum Edition art box from ADV. So we have Asuka here on the side, and then we've got Shinji and Rei and the Eva 01 unit, isn't it? And then we've got my favourite character, I don't know about you, my favourite character Masato here. I actually really like that illustration, it looks really cool. On the top we've got Gendo, Shinji's father, and then underneath here with some of the information we've also got Nagisa, isn't it? Nagisa? I always forget. Yeah, and then we've got ADV Films, DVD Video, Region 1, 4x3, Dolby Digital. Dolby Digital, this is a 5.1, this series, of this version. This isn't the first time that Evangelion was put out by ADV. They initially, at least on DVD, they initially put it out just in a more standard version. The Platinum Edition has a remastered video and audio, and I think for the first time the director's cut episodes at the end. They did an original box set of 8 volumes that came out in like the 2000s or something. These particular volumes came out between like 2004 in let's see if I can remember, July 2004 I think is when the first volume came out, and then the final volume came out around April, I think it was April 2005. So yeah, quite a, as was tradition back in the day, quite a wait between volume 1 and the final volume. It would take almost a year to get this series on your shelf. But yeah, very nice box. So I'm going to start opening up here, and we get into these very, very shiny box sets. So yeah, here's volume 1. I'm going to say there's a little bit, you know, a little bit of wear and tear, but considering what these sets can look like, I would say these are very, very good condition. So yeah, these all come with slip covers, and you've got the DVD on the inside. Slip covers are obviously very, very shiny. So yeah, we've got Shinji on the front. If you can see him, again, they're incredibly shiny and reflective. And then we got this on the inside, which looks a little bit more like the original Evangelion DVD releases they did, at least for the covers and like the general art on these volumes. But yeah, this has the first 5 episodes. On the inside we've got the disc, and then each one of these volumes comes with a booklet. Got the original registration card. We've also got a sticker, like a iron-on reversible sticker thing or something. I'm not sure. Has the Nerve logo on it. Is I believe the company that Gindo, that Shinji's father, works for, and where the Ava units are produced. And then we have these booklets that basically work as a guide through each of the episodes, as well as a little bit of an art book. So we've got some episode commentaries, little introduction, describing some of the aliens that are coming to attack the Earth, and Shinji and all that get in the fucking robot, and they attack these aliens using the Ava units. And the story is kind of confusing throughout. It's a lot to take in. It's a very lauded series, and a series that people really like to do deep dives on. For me personally, I enjoy Evangelion at face value, but because I only enjoy it at that level, and I don't do deep dives with it and try to really figure out every little bit of what's going on, it's a series that I enjoy and have liked, but it's not a series that I necessarily herald in the same way that other people do. And we have volume 2. It's got Ray on the cover. Nice image again. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is the spines are embossed, so the lettering on the spine is embossed, which is nice. And we got the back. Very simple. And everything on the inside. It's got volume 2 here. This takes us up to episode 10. And this time, same as before. Platinum collection, a little bit more meaty, the booklet this time. But it's pretty much the same layout. Get a small description about the series and some things that are going on in the opening. And then we get the episode commentaries trying to help explain what the hell's going on. A little bit of art. And then a description on the aliens that are attacking. And then a bit of art at the bottom. So yeah, that's volume 2. So next we've got volume 3 with Asuka on the front. It's the same artwork that's on the Artbox, as you see. But yeah, Platinum volume 3. And then the back. And the spines again. So yeah. They're pretty much laid out exactly the same way each time. So but yeah. Obviously the series is now, oh yeah, I obviously forgot to take those off. The guy does what I do when I send art boxes. He sticks the disc down with sellotape so it doesn't fall out during transit. Apparently I forgot to remove the stickers on this volume for that, but yeah. Obviously the interesting thing about Evangelion right now is obviously it's licensed currently in America via Netflix with a whole brand new dub that I've heard a lot of people are not fans of. They much prefer the old ADV dub. I haven't tried the Netflix dub yet, but yeah, here they're talking about building the 5.1 surround soundtrack. There are commentaries and stuff, not just these episode commentaries, but there are actually commentaries on the discs as special features with Mike Toole, the ADR director, and a couple of other people. I think they're on almost every disc, I believe. So yeah, then we get a little description of the Ava units, or at least one of them. But yeah, obviously the series is on Netflix in America, but in the UK it was announced this year that this series is finally going to be coming out on Blu-ray via Anime Limited. I wouldn't be surprised if that same release comes out in America, since Anime Limited have been joining up with Shout Factory, and Shout Factory being that slightly bigger publisher than the anime space. Obviously they're working on Be the Beginning, which is a Netflix series with Anime Limited doing the American release. So I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Shout Factory are the company that end up putting out Evangelion in America. If it will contain the ADV dub, though, is a whole nother question. So these DVDs might still hold some value in the future, even if a Blu-ray does come along. But yeah, that's Volume 3. And next up we have Volume 4 with Masato again. Definitely my favourite character. The more mature out of all of the characters. I don't know, she's just kind of interesting. Shinji is obviously a little bit hard to like. One of the problems I actually do have with Evangelion is I don't like most of the characters, and Masato is pretty much the one character that I do like. And apparently I have forgotten to take the sellotape off of this one too. So I'm guessing I've forgotten to do that for all of the remaining volumes. How convenient. So yeah, once again, same on the inside. The discs aren't exactly very exciting, unfortunately. I don't know. I think I'll have to look up some pictures, and if I do, I'll put them in the video. But after the fact, but I think the original releases of Evangelion on DVD from ADV did have some sort of artwork of significance on the discs. But given this is the Platinum edition, they kind of went all in on the whole, silver look, chrome look. So it means we get less artwork on the discs, which is unfortunate. But as it says here, renewal of the footage, and a little bit of description about the remastering process. That's more important. Like the anime looking the best it could possibly look at this time. When this was released. That's a really, really cool image. I love seeing weird shit like this. Reminds me of things like, obviously, like Razafon, which is my favourite Ava-like. I totally, Razafon is basically Studio Bones' version of Evangelion, but I prefer it personally to the original Evangelion. But yeah, I love seeing stuff like this and weird alien things going on. It reminds me of, like I said, Razafon, Shingu, Secret of the Stellar Wars, and all sorts of other shows like that. Like, it's just, this show really, really, just revolutionised this whole genre and just the sort of storytelling that could be done with the medium, the sort of things that would be done in the future. Just completely, we went from, kind of pushing the boundary every now and then to just going balls to the wall. Let's really, really do something crazy and out there. I haven't actually been keeping up with the episode numbers, but yeah, this takes us from episode 15 to episode 17. So we've only got 3 episodes on this disc. They started to obviously milk it at this point. So yeah, that's volume 4. Next up we've got volume 5, which I actually don't know who that is. Wait a minute, I'm going to go look that up. I think this is... I only really remember the main characters' names. I think this is Ryoji Kaiji, or Kaji. Yeah, I believe that's who this is. Again, I'm not 100% certain. If it is, he's another one of the ones who was actually one of my more favourite characters in the series. Like, him and Masato have some fun dialogue and stuff, and yeah. From what I remember. It's been a while since I watched Evangelion, if I'm honest. And I am planning to buy the Blu-rays eventually. I hope you can kind of see that. They are very reflective. But I hope you can see what you want to see. If you want to see it on the back there. But yeah, this takes us from episode 18 to only episode 20. So yeah, I'm really milking it at this point. 3 episodes a disc. But obviously these would have been huge sellers, even though this is the second time this series was released. But yeah, I mean, it says here like another... we've got full-length animatics for episode 18, 19 and 20, along with commentary by Matt Greenfield and Sean McCoy, the mythology of Evangelion. Like, they really, each volume was stuffed to the brim with special features, and since I didn't mention them on the previous volumes, the special features on each disc, like verbally I didn't mention them, I'll try to make sure to put them. I mean, you would have seen them at this point, but I'll try to edit those in as annotations, since I really should have mentioned those as we went along. Anyway, Another booklet here, pretty much the same thing every time. This time looking at the video version versus the on-air version, i.e. what the home video release looked like compared to the original broadcast and the differences. This is interesting stuff. Some more episode commentaries and more artwork. Some more artwork. And some more angels. And finally some more of the glossary. So yeah, we saw this in the back of the other one. It was A to C. This takes us from D to N. But yeah, just explaining some of the interesting terms and phrases for things in this. This show is just full of almost like gibberish, it feels like sometimes, of the things that they're talking about. But yeah, it's a lot to get your head around on occasion, or like the whole time you're watching it, in my experience. There are certainly some people that are able to keep up with it far better than me. But yeah, that's volume 5. And then we've got volume 6 with Gendo on the front. The bastard Gendo. Yeah, I haven't really done this. This is also embossed, and this is also obviously on every single volume. And not anything really of significance on the bottom, just a copyright, but yeah. Yeah, volume 6. And the inside, and this is when we kind of get a bit crazy, right? So the last 2 volumes have basically the same episodes twice. So it's kind of weird that I don't know how they've described this. So we've basically got episodes 21 here through to episode 23. They've got the OA version, which for the easy, I don't know exactly what that means, but basically that's the original broadcast version, or the original version basically. And then we got the director's cut version, because basically Evangelion originally back in the day quite notoriously run out of money, and the last 2 episodes were kind of special, where basically they were very limited on animation, basically had to cram everything in. And this slowly starts to change that once the series continued to be such a success after its original broadcast. They ended up going back to it almost George Lucas style, fiddling in with the ending a bit, trying to basically bring their original vision to life, and that's basically what's represented here. And you can compare the differences. I believe that's what this is. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to see if OA is described on the air version. Yeah. So yeah, on air version. So basically the original broadcast version versus the director's cut version of those episodes. So there's actually 6 episodes on this disc, which is far more than the others, but it's actually 3 episodes in truth. But yeah, and everything is covered in here, and I'm sure all the differences, among other things, are noted in this book in order to help explain stuff. So we've got the episode commentary, some more artwork, and the 15th and 16th angels, and the ending of the glossary. Which, this video is in 1080p, but I'd be surprised if you could read that. But if you can, well, that's cool, I guess. If you want to pause the video and try and read that, you can. But yeah, it's only a glossary. I don't really know why you'd necessarily want to do that anyway. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, is there any special features on it? I guess there's no special features on these ones. There's no mention of a commentary or anything on these episodes. Which, of all the episodes to have, you could argue that these would be the ones that you probably would want the commentary on, because you'd be able to explain the differences as you go along. But yeah, apparently no commentaries on these. So yeah, just these 6 episodes. I mean, it's 6 episodes. There's a good chance that the DVD was pretty much full up, and there was no chance to put any commentaries on it anyway. Oh no, wait a minute. It does say on the back here. So we got 12-page profile, full-length animatic for episode 23, with the tiniest. Wait a minute. I don't know. I think it's just a part of the design on the back. I thought it had a very small 2 letters saying which episode version that was for. Anyway, there we got a commentary of Matt Greenfield. Like I said, Tiffany Grant, who I think plays Masato, and Sean McCoy, and Clean Up Endings and ADV previews. So yeah, yeah, there is commentaries, although it doesn't say for which episode. Have to find out on the disc, I guess. and if I can find that out, if I remember to do it, I'll put an annotation here for what episode it is, in case anyone's curious. Okay, and finally to finish it off then, at least for the art box, and then we'll take a quick look at the rest of it. We've got Platinum, Volume 7, with Nagisa, I believe, on the front cover. I'm pretty sure that's what his name is. This has the booklet again, the Mythology of Evangelion stuff again, full-length animatics for episodes 24 and 25, commentary of Matt Greenfield and Sean McCoy, clean opening and closing animation, and ADV previews. So yeah, these things are loaded with commentaries, and unlike the more modern Funimation ones, where it's just basically a voice actor loving and they barely talk about the show at all, in these ones with Matt Greenfield and co, you're getting some of the bit more, and then they talk about their experience of doing the you know, he's the ADR director, so he'll talk about maybe some of his choices of like voice actors and things they chose to do with the dub, etc. But I'm pretty sure with those commentaries they also go into a little bit about the show and the differences that are going on at the time and try and explain a few extra things, etc. So yeah, this is the final volume. This only contains, is this 3 episodes or I forget. Okay, this is kind of interesting, I guess. So yeah, we got the original airing version, the original broadcast version of episode 24, then we got the director's cut version, and then we got episode 25 and 26. So yeah. And we've got some sticky tape on the inside again. I really wish I'd remembered about that, but I didn't, unfortunately. So yeah. So volume 7. With the last booklet. So we got the 2 endings explained. We won't focus on that for too long for those who haven't seen it. Episode commentaries. Some more artwork. 17th Angel and Evangelion 02. Timeline of the series. I'm pretty sure. Is that a timeline for the whole series? I guess it must be. It's kind of weird to put that in the final volume, but there you go. And yeah, that's the last page. So yeah, that's the Neon Genesis Evangelion Platinum Edition unboxed. Really, really nice looking set. And again, that for me personally, the reason to own this particular edition isn't just for the director's cut episodes, which are great, but you know, in the remastered video and audio. But the commentaries are really, really cool. I'm not sure any future release of Evangelion will include those, and I think those are really worth having. So this is definitely an edition you want to get. There is a fin pack version of this as well. I'll find some pictures of it. I'm sure you already know about it, but yeah, there's also a fin pack edition of this particular art box set. And yeah, so let's move on to the other stuff. Take a quick look at this. So apologies I didn't do any like proper like deep dives and thoughts about Evangelion. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I didn't want to try and explain things or remember things that weren't exactly correct. So I just gave a overview of the set. I'm not sure how interesting it was, but I've done it, so we'll move on. Yeah, so basically I used to own this particular edition before repurchasing it last year. Sold it many years ago, and I was trying to downgrade my collection, downgrade my art boxes to save space. Already at that time, Evangelion was a very expensive series. It had been out of print for a long time, even at that point, and I had the opportunity to buy this cheap secondhand, so I decided to replace my art box version with this. So this is basically the limited edition holiday special version. So this is basically a compact re-release with all 7 discs. It doesn't include any of the booklets, it's just the 7 discs. Yeah. Basically this was very cheap. I think considering what it is, I got this for about 30 quid or something, and it's basically a very rundown copy, like its original version, but yeah, like a very rundown tired version of it. It was teared up here, so it's been sellotaped, like the spine was completely ripped down here, and the case has been completely replaced. I did this myself with another edition I had in my collection. I would not normally choose a stack pack, but at the time this was the only case I had of a similar size, because the version, this normally comes in trays, and I'll show you some pictures of what it should look like. So yeah, it would normally come with like 7 disc trays or whatever, and yeah, mine were all broken and yeah, I got this very cheap, and I thought, well, like the discs are okay, the case is replaceable, and this is considerably cheaper. I'll go for it, because at the same time, as I've kind of mentioned already, I'm not the biggest fan of Evangelion, and at the time it was just that I was on this complete spree of downgrading Artbox sets for compact versions if and when I could find them. In the end, I ended up regretting doing this, which is why when given the opportunity to buy the Artbox again, especially for such a cheap price, I couldn't resist. But yeah, I've kept this around. This still goes for quite a lot of money. Maybe I should sell it, even in this condition. I could probably get about 100 quid for this, I reckon, because these discs are just that valuable at this point. But yeah, I have so far not done so. I'm not sure if I feel like I may have missed the train on it, maybe, or the right turn of phrase for that, just because obviously the Blu-ray is finally getting an English release, at least here in the UK for sure. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I think, or earlier in this video, I think it will probably come out in America as well via Shout Factory. But yeah, don't hold me to it, but I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, this has all the same extras from the discs and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty nice packaging. These weird holiday specials, I think these only came out at the same time. Actually, I have the release date written down here somewhere. Let's see if I can quickly find it. Yeah, the holiday edition came out in 2008, so about November 2008. So this came out just over 3 years later, 3.5 years later. I think that's right, or maybe just under. I can't remember to do the maths correctly. But yeah, about 3 years, shall we say, after the Platinum Edition had finished releasing. So this is getting close to the end of ADV's life. I'm pretty sure this is the last time ADV put Evangelion out. It was in this set. They actually did another holiday edition special for another series, like Chrono Crusade. That one actually had the characters in Christmas, like cosplay, if you will. Thankfully they didn't do that for Evangelion. So yeah, we just have this pretty cool image on the front, which obviously you might recognise from the spine there. So yeah, it looks kind of cooler on here because it's all shiny and stuff, but obviously this has a little bit deeper, darker colours, just a more filled out palette and stuff. But yeah, so that's the holiday edition. It is what it is. I have it. So I've had Evangelion all this time, so yeah, I couldn't not have the show in my collection, but I'm very happy to have finally gotten this back in the collection, and in such great condition as well. So that's the TV stuff. Obviously the movies, which are also coming out on Blu-ray from Anime Limited, were handled by a different company altogether. They only got one release, kinda, on DVD. Obviously back in the 90s, Manga Entertainment were one of the biggest companies around. By the mid-2000s, that was not really the case anymore. Manga Entertainment basically had their heyday in the 90s, and then just basically rid the wave, if you will, of you know, having the licenses to stuff like Ghost in the Shell and obviously Evangelion. So here we have the Death+Rebirth films. So these are basically two compilation films that cover the complete original TV series, edited obviously. So yeah, I can't remember how long these are, and I should definitely, in fact, do a shout out. This and this that we're about to look at were actually gifted to me by I think it was both of them. It might have been just this one, but I'm pretty sure it was both of them. It was a crazy thing to do because these were expensive at the time, and they're still expensive now, because these are the only DVD releases, these films, or any release on physical media past VHS, that these have had in English, at least in America obviously. These were gifted to me by David Bunch of Numbers, who was like my first subscriber. He sent these over. It was crazy. He knew I was looking for them. And yeah, I thanked him back then, and I will obviously thank him again now, all these years later. That was such a generous thing to do, and I'm very, very appreciative of him doing that. I will definitely keep these in my collection forever, just because, one, he gifted them to me, but two, also, these are part of Manga Entertainment, and as you know, I'm a Manga Entertainment fan, and I like to collect all their stuff, and this is part of the Manga Entertainment collection on DVD. So yeah, Death+Rebirth, welcome to the apocalypse. There aren't really too many special features on here, are there? 5.1 Dolby. Oh no, there's actually a whole commentary. Look at that. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So we've got an audio commentary by Amanda Wynne Lee, who's the English language director and voice of Rey. In-depth index of characters, angels, avas and terms, photo galleries, Japanese trailers, Japanese production credits, the end of Evangelion preview, manga preview, web links, and manga fan club. I don't remember, but I must have, these must have a different dub cast, right? Right? I can't remember, but I feel like they must do. But anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, they also have. We'll take a look at this first before we cry about what the discs are like. So, yeah, we got this kind of booklet things. We've got chapter selection, a little bit descriptions, and then we've got a pretty cool poster. Try and go back as far as I can there. So yeah, a mini poster, very very nice. And then we've got the back. I'm not sure I showed that, but the back. And then we got the disc. Now the disc, from what I understand, is one movie is on one side and one movie is on the other. So this is one of those double-sided DVDs. I hate these things. Pretty much everyone hated these things because they were always open to having issues. Because yeah, we got data on one side and on the other. It just a recipe for disaster. But it was a cheaper. When DVDs were really expensive, and obviously at one time these would have been the most, you know. Yeah, at one time these would have been cutting edge technology. They would have cost a lot of money to produce, and doing 2 DVDs in one case might not have been cost effective. So at some point they did stuff like this, which are double-sided discs. Which, I mean, in fairness, the whole era of Laserdisc was double-sided. So like people having discs like this and watching movies like this where they were double-sided like this wasn't actually that crazy. After a while it was quite clear that it wasn't the way to go with DVD, but yeah. There is actually a description in this booklet that I think explains what's going on with the disc. So we got side A, which is the which is kind of weird. Side A, play movie. Okay, and what's side B then? Omega. So side A is alpha, side B is omega. Mikuji Interactive feature. Mikuji meaning contents in Japanese, an exciting on-screen display that instantly gives you access to Ava-related terms, character descriptions, and other valuable information while viewing the movie. Okay, I've never done this. That's interesting. To begin using this feature, simply, if you can see this. To begin using this feature, simply select Mikuji Interactive from the main menu. You may then select either activate Mikuji from the subsequent menu to view the entire film, or choose from any of the chapters. As you watch Death+Rebirth, you will see. Okay, so it's Death+Rebirth is one film. Again, it's been a long time, guys. So it's Death+Rebirth is one complete thing. Apparently, I'm pretty sure. And that's on side A, and then side B there's another version of it which has all these crazy interactive stuff going on. So yeah, as you watch Death+Rebirth, you will see options pop up on screen which you can select. Simply navigate through this on-screen menu using the arrow buttons of your remote control and select an item by pressing the enter button. While viewing this additional information, you may access other descriptions by using the left and right arrow keys on your remote, or return to the film by pressing the enter button again. This feature is designed to be an interactive experience for both the seasoned Evangelion fan eager to learn more, as well as a comprehensive introduction for those new to the story. This version of the film may only be viewed in conjunction with either the English stereo or audio commentary options, so you can't do it with the Japanese version, and is intended to offer a unique and comprehensive supplement to the viewing options available on Side A, Alpha. That's crazy. I didn't realize that's what that was. Huh. That's crazy. Again, it's been so long since I watched any of this. Yeah, I just kind of forget or forgot. But yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I might try that out at some point. In fact, I may even, while I was describing that, I think I'm going to try and film my TV screen and show you what that actually is all about. If I can, maybe a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, that's Death+Rebirth. And then finally then, we have the craziness that is the end of Evangelion movie. As if the TV series didn't blow our minds enough, didn't challenge the formula of what anime can do enough, as if mecha series weren't being stretched to their absolute limit enough by Evangelion. This came along and blew everyone's freaking minds and confused most people, including myself. But yeah, I've since watched videos of people talking about the meaning of this film and things, and you know, the imagery and stuff, symbolism, etc., etc. Yeah, this is a bizarre and crazy film. So yeah, the fate of destruction is also the joy of rebirth. Neon Genesis Evangelion, the end of Evangelion. I always call it neon. I know it says neon. I don't know why I do that. I think it's because you say Evangelion as a part of it, then it's like neon. I don't know where that comes from, but I keep making that mistake, so I apologise. Okay, so yeah, the DVD special features on this, we got 5.1 surround on both the Japanese and English, which is cool. Also, wow, there's actually a lot of audio options. So yeah, surround sound English and Japanese, and then 6.1 surround sound in Japanese and English, then 5.1 in Japanese and English, then stereo Japanese and English. We've got subtitle options, and we've got another audio commentary by Amanda Winley again, who was the ADR director and the voice of Ray, obviously. An additional voice commentary by is that the Japanese side? No. Taliesin Jaffe and Jason C. Lee. I apologise to the first man's name, or person's name. I don't even know if that's a man, obviously. I've never seen that name before, and I've certainly never tried to pronounce it before, so yeah, apologies, I probably butchered that. But yeah, and then we've got Japanese production credits, manga previews, web link, and manga fan club. And we got some sort of crazy disc stuff going again, so I wonder if it's the same sort of thing. So we got the... Oh no, maybe they just didn't... Okay, no, this doesn't seem like it's double-sided. It just looks like they didn't put any disc art on it. How kind of them. And then we got the booklet, the End of Evangelion booklet. Yeah, there's nothing on here talking about side A's and side B's, so man, that first disc must be absolutely crammed. Like, holy crap. That's 6 audio tracks just for the actual movie in English and Japanese, and then and 2 commentary tracks as well. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's 8 audio tracks. That's madness. But yeah, okay, and then we've got the chapters. And then a mini poster fold out. And that's it. Yeah, Evangelion, guys, is 25 years old. It might be 50 years old by the time you've watched all of this video, because I'm sure it's long. But there you go, Evangelion. Yeah, a series that I like. But as I've mentioned before, it isn't my favourite. What I am most thankful for when it comes to Evangelion is, like I mentioned earlier, it's the influence it had on the shows that came afterwards. It completely revolutionised what you could do with this form of entertainment. Because if you think pre-Evangelion, especially in the giant robot space, it was very child-friendly stuff that was being made. Stuff that was mainly kind of always, actually, like a lot of the time the shows were basically, you know, an excuse for toys, especially in the early 90s. It slowly began to progress. I think Guy Gaugar kind of started to push the envelope with that line of series. There was quite a lot of them from like the early 90s upwards, and they slowly got more progressive and more interesting and more yeah, pushing the boundaries with their storytelling. But it was Evangelion that kind of came through and just smashed the rule book to pieces and said, we're going to do something completely different. And the shows that came afterwards, the Evangelion basically clones, if you will, there were many of them. A lot of them weren't very good. There were a lot of shows that basically tried to cash in on this series' success. Some of the ones that were less successful, you could say, are the things that are like brain powered, or to some extent, even though it's not necessarily 100% a mecha series, something like Better Man, things like that came along and just didn't really match what this series have been able to do. But then there were some shows that came along that, in this humble anime fan's opinion, kind of outdid Evangelion. Like Razafon, I think, is a better series. I'm not really sure that it lives entirely in the same space, but Eureka 7, in terms, like, Eureka 7 kind of just took the elements of what made Evangelion different and then did the more traditional mecha show at the same time as well. I love Eureka 7 as well. Gundam obviously got a shot in the arm at some point, thanks to, you could argue to some degree, Evangelion. It would be almost 7 years later, but and after a couple of more generic standard Gundam shows of the time. But then they eventually did something like Gundam Seed, which again, not necessarily Evangelion, but like influenced strongly, but you could kind of see elements of it. So yeah, Evangelion, very influential series, and one that I'm happy to have in my collection. Hopefully that Blu-ray does make it to America. Fortunately, obviously being in the UK, I will definitely have an option to buy that regardless. But I would be surprised if it doesn't come out from Shout Factory as well. It does seem some Netflix series are starting to fall through the cracks and come out in English on the home video, on Blu-ray and stuff, which is nice, and I think Evangelion will be another one of those. So I'm going to finish this incredibly long unboxing video. I hope you enjoyed. Happy anniversary, happy birthday Evangelion, you're 25 years old. Holy crap. So yeah, I've been Blaze, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.